Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Gayatri Devi with another video. It's been a while since I posted, but I have been moved to share another video with you today. And I hope you'll join me on this channel. The focus is on tips and techniques, a lot of spiritually focused ones to help you live a happy and peaceful life. Today, I want to talk about betrayal and how every good person will experience this, and maybe even every person will experience some form of betrayal or disappointment in your lifetime, and what to do about it. What can you turn to at that time? So, my first point is to share the wisdom, and much of this is from my spiritual teacher, Peace Mother Gita's sacred song, that the spiritual wisdom states that people are a mix of the energies within and attached to them. And that's also a shamanic perspective of seeing everything as a form of energy. But until someone is completely enlightened, until they reach what's called like sainthood or self-realization, they're a package. It's a very infinitely intricate and delicate package, but there's goodness, there's their heart, their shining light, and then there's also all the stuff that they're carrying around that is negative, or you could also say perhaps it's programming, it's limited, it's a hindrance to them experiencing their best life and their most blissful, highest self. And all of us are there. Again, all of us are on parts of this spectrum, parts of this path, again, until we reach that end state of oneness with God, higher consciousness, the universe, whatever you call it. And so if we understand this, though, then we can understand when people interact with us, there's that mix, right? There's the goodness and there's the evil, or the enemy, or the darkness, the negative, the limited, the programming, the protective patterns of the ego that are keeping them locked into a form of smallness. You can also think of it as moving from smallness or an individualistic, ego-focused person or self to a oneness consciousness, a very open, unified. So moving from smallness to greatness, let's say. Moving from what's limited to what's infinite and unlimited. And so I mentioned this a little bit on another video, but as you expand your light, and you can expand your light both through life, through your experience, and through spiritual practices, and through the grace of blessings showered upon you, let's say from other beings, other enlightened beings, other spiritual teachers, and of course all the angels and spiritual and positive energies that are invisible and we can't see. So you experience this, and that can allow you to expand and carry more light within and around you. And you'll notice indications of this are that you notice your life becoming better, you are more calm, you notice you're more centered, you know yourself more, you understand yourself more, and you feel more peaceful. Also, many times people's face tends to soften and they are just happier, or they'll worry less, things like that. Sometimes though, obstacles come up and they get in the way. And today, about betrayal, so what happens is your light expands and then others are threatened by this. And the thing is, unless you practice very deliberately, and even those of us who are practicing deliberately, adhering to what's right, adhering to our values, adhering to our highest standard of action in thought, word, and deed, unless you're doing this, most people are not, and they're kind of going along in their own life and living in their bubble, so to speak. We all have a bubble, but they have a small bubble that's based on, again, their projections and ideas and concepts and beliefs about themselves and everyone else around them. So when your expanded bubble starts to bump into their limited bubble, it's a threat to their ego, their darkness, their limitations, their insecurities, the things that they may not wish to do. An example of this is celebrities, how on social media, even the most well-meaning, well-intentioned people who are there, who are doing their mission very successfully and attempting, they're serving the world because they have a bigger mission, they want to make the world a better place, they'll still get tons of negative comments, trolling, negativity. They'll have people turn against them. They'll have things taken from them. They may be very, very successful, but then their accountant steals millions of dollars. Or a recent example is Taylor Swift, and she worked so hard on her music, but then her masters were sold from underneath her. Why didn't the leadership do the honorable thing and ask her if she wanted to buy the very music she created? Why did they go above her? Why did they do that? Again, self-interest, protecting the ego, and lack of awareness, simply. So if you're experiencing it, it is universal, but it hurts when it's maybe a friend, a family member, someone that you thought you could count on, or even someone that's been very kind in the past. They can turn, and it's ugly. It can be very ugly, and I've seen that I've heard about it too in divorce cases, and well, they say that divorce can bring out the worst in good people, because again, those shadows are always there trying to take ground, right? It's a battle between the light and the dark, so shadows don't like losing ground. If you're there emanating positivity, maybe even pushing someone a little bit, because your existence, maybe you're growing and expanding and finding new opportunities, new jobs, new relationships, some form of success. Or even if you don't even have any of that, but you're more peaceful, more resolute in your inner convictions and the dedication to your innermost self, that itself, in and of itself, is a supremely powerful threat to someone else's darkness. So when you experience that negativity being pushed back at you and thrown against you, and that just trying to destroy or bring you down, you can be like Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high. Know that you're not alone, and you can count on, I'll leave this in the next video, you can count on certain core things to bring yourself back and then move yourself through and out of the situation so you keep yourself clean. And that's important because, again, pettiness likes to pull others down. Pettiness likes to gossip and talk. And pettiness is a lot of talk, no action. Pettiness likes to keep things in the status quo. Pettiness doesn't like to think outside of oneself or of a bigger picture or be more selfless or more compassionate. Pettiness isn't that way, and they call it the petty ego for a reason. So don't go that way, and stay bright. And in the next video, I'll share what are the core things that you can turn to. What will you turn to when your world goes dark or when someone does betray you? Tune in for the next video. And if you've enjoyed this, if you found it helpful, please do let me know by giving it a thumbs up or subscribing or leaving a comment below. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.